Botox is evil, people are fake, how dare you get Botox? Aloha everyone and welcome to Skincare with Hyram. Get ready with me, baby. Hey y'all, how you doing? It is morning right now. Is it morning? Well, it's morning to me. I, as usual, slept in because I was up until 4:30 a.m. last night. What can I say? Early to bed, early to rise. I figured I'd let you guys join me as I get ready for today because there's something I really want to talk about. You know, something that just doesn't sit right with my spirit, something I need to get off my big, massive breasts. And I figured I'd just chat with you as I get ready. So as usual, all the products that I'm going to be using in today's video will be linked in the description box below if you do want to do a little bit of shopping and support the channel. I'm going to start with a product I actually haven't tried yet. It's from In Beauty Project. It's their Green Machine Insta Glow 7-minute mask. I'm really impressed by the ingredients. It has a lot of really good natural vegetable extracts, and it's been a little while since I've done a mask that hasn't burned my skin, and my skin needs a little bit of hydration TLC right now, so I'm going to jump in with this. Ooh, it's kind of like a cream green formula. I actually really like their super green serum, I think is what it's called. I've used that a lot. But yeah, I'm just gonna go in and apply some. Ooh, please don't burn my skin. Okay, so what is it I'm wanting to get off my chest? If y'all are on TikTok, I am positive by now you have seen the infamous aging filter, the one that ages you like 50 years.
Realistic filter.
It's been everywhere, and when I first saw it, I, of course, had to test it out. And I decided to stitch a video of a dermatologist I love where she was talking about how the filter is actually really accurate, and it looks very real to life on how we will naturally age. And bitch, it's not even that it made me look old. I was coffin level status old. I looked like the bugs had already started feeding on my body. Most people I saw who used it, it definitely looked, like natural. You guys, my skin is tingling. I'm so fucking over this. Why does my skin always react to masks? I'm sorry, this is like the third mask in the last few months where my skin has started tingling. I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm gonna rinse this off right now because I don't want my skin to burn. I'm gonna go in with the Tower 28 Intensive Rescue Serum because this one has been doing an amazing job of reducing my redness and also like kind of mattifying the skin. It's a nice product that I always use whenever my skin's a little bit sensitive. Anyway, so the aging filter. I do edit the video because I honestly thought it was really funny and I was like, you know what? I'm probably not gonna look like this in 50 years and I just thought it was really funny. Anyway, the video really popped off. I think it got like 6 million views. And I didn't take it that seriously, right? Until I saw the comments. And then I started to get a little bit concerned. Because while yes, there were some good comments of you guys that were like, oh, I'm gonna wear my sunscreen every day, which bravo, I'm so proud of you. I would say the majority of comments were people, specifically young people, were just terrified of looking old. This convinced me to start Botox. I'd rather die than look this old. And when I checked the comments a few days after posting it, I was like, okay, maybe this is a problem. And then I saw other content creators, specifically dermatologists and even Dr. Mike, posting with the filter saying that it's normal to look like this.
Eat your veggies, kids.
There's nothing wrong with it, which is a message I do support. And I think it really opened my eyes in a lot of ways to this intense fear of aging that people have, which is something that I've talked about on my channel before. That's something I definitely saw and suspected, but I feel like this filter really pulled back the curtains on the societal fear of aging that we have, specifically younger people. And this fear of aging just doesn't really sit right with me. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the First Aid Beauty Coconut Water Cream. I recently restarted using this one and remembered why I love it so much. Such a good moisturizer for oily skin. And there's a few different things I've been thinking about since I posted that video. The first one being just the sheer amount of negative comments aimed towards looking older and by proxy older people. I'm definitely someone who believes that everyone deserves to feel beautiful. And as someone who really struggles with self-confidence, I think everyone at every age should deserve to feel like they are beautiful. Making negative comments like the ones I've seen where they're like, I'd rather die than look this old. I just can't help but imagine myself as like a 60-year-old reading these comments and imagining the repercussions of that, because I know with my sensitive ass, if I was reading a bunch of those and I saw someone who used the aging filter and they looked like me and everyone's saying they look awful, I definitely would feel insecure about myself. I wouldn't feel beautiful. And thank God not a lot of older people are on TikTok, and I do think that there's a really cool wave of more mature senior TikTokers who have really embraced their age and show that you can look stylish, sexy, confident at any age, which I think is really beautiful. I actually learned about that from Nicole Rafai's video. I'll link it down below. She also talks about the fear of aging and why it's so problematic. I definitely recommend watching it. And I think it's so cool that there is this new era of senior influencers who are making such empowering content with such a positive message. But I think this filter made a lot of people feel really comfortable with making statements that inevitably will negatively affect people's confidence. And that goes for anyone. I've always been against criticizing someone's appearance because the message it could send to other people who look like that. There is so much more to us as humans than the way we look, and it's really discouraging to see people feel so comfortable making negative remarks about someone's appearance as if it is the most important thing. Because even if it's a joke, even if the person say deserves it, it's reinforcing this idea that someone's worth and value is based off of their physical appearance. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Selfless by Hyram Niacinamide and Maracuja Moisturizer to get enough moisture without my skin looking too greasy. Another concerning thing that I mentioned before is just the increase of people who are younger and younger and younger wanting to get Botox. I know on my pages I get questions all the time from people who are 14, 15, 16, already expressing interest in getting Botox, either to get rid of some lines that have already formed on their face or as a preventative measure to make sure they don't get wrinkles. And to be honest, this is something I feel very split on, because I think preventative Botox can be a really smart move. I think it's a good way of ensuring that premature wrinkles won't form on your face, particularly if you're a really expressive person. Obviously, Botox won't prevent wrinkles, but they can prevent some premature aging from forming early on, so I think there is a benefit. But seeing just the sheer amount of young people have interest in Botox based out of a fear of aging, I think reflects kind of a bigger societal issue. And no, I'm not talking about Botox is evil, people are fake, how dare you get Botox, none of that. But the thing is, Botox is becoming more normalized in younger and younger people, and not everyone can afford Botox. It's really expensive. And I worry with the normalization of Botox getting younger, if we're more actively moving to a point where people will become ostracized or perceived as not beautiful if they don't have Botox. Ugh, quick rant. I get so annoyed by the posts talking about celebrities that are non-problematic, that say this is how you age when you're an unproblematic queen. That shit annoys me so much because it's equating someone's value and morality to how many wrinkles they have on their face. It's ridiculous. Those two things literally have nothing to do with each other, and it's no wonder that it's reinforcing this fear of aging and this increase of interest from younger people wanting to get Botox or plastic surgery. You know, I think my skin needs a little bit of extra moisture, so I'm gonna go in with the First Aid Beauty Cream again, and I'm gonna use the Indeed Labs Nano Bronze. I recently restarted using this product and remember why I love it so much. It's just a great way of getting like a very minimal bronzing effect on the face, you know? And then the last thing I've been thinking about is, what does a filter like this tell us about how rapidly our society is modernizing and the advancement of technology? Because I'm gonna say it, filters like these are not normal. I don't think our brain is meant to conceptualize the idea of seeing what we may look like in 50 plus years. I don't think it's necessarily good for our brains to see something like this, especially with the baggage of societal expectations, you know? And it made me start thinking, are filters like this actually ethical? Should there be a limit or even like say legislation on what kind of filters are allowed? I'm gonna go into sunscreen, the Bliss Block Star SPF 30. I know in certain countries legislation has begun on limiting or restricting filters because of the negative mental health impact they have on us, which I'm like, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think that's actually kind of a smart move. And I've talked about kind of like my disdain for filters on my channel many times. I've made a bunch of TikToks. I even with my brand Selfless did a whole activation piece about going filter free, because I think an aging filter like this is the other side of the same coin as filters that make us look more young and more beautiful according to societal expectations. And part of me is like, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but then I'm also like, well, if legislation is literally happening in other countries and there's data to show how negative of an impact this can have on our mental health, then I don't think I'm reading too much into it. I think these are conversations we need to be having. And of course, this is my personal take, but I'll just say it. I really hate filters. Unless they're like fun filters that make you look like Peppa Pig or whatever. I really, really hate these filters that alter the appearance of your face, that make you look more appealing according to white Eurocentric beauty standards. Oh my God, like what's that one TikTok filter that everyone has been using that basically makes you look like a fucking Armani model? I don't remember the name, I'll put it up here, but ooh, filters like that grind my gears because it is just so unhealthy for the brain. You don't need to be a data analyst to see that. You could be the most fucking confident person in the world, but if you're regularly using a filter that makes you look more beautiful, it is guaranteed to happen that after a certain amount of time, you will start comparing yourself to how you look in a filter, and in real life, you'll start viewing yourself as less beautiful. And then for the rest of us who don't use filters, it will only be a matter of time before we start comparing ourselves to the people who do use filters and feeling more insecure about ourselves. And in my opinion, I really think social media platforms should start cracking down on filters like these and prevent them from being available, because they will break even the most confident of person. And I will admit it, I am not guilt-free. agree. I do from time to time like using that Instagram Paris filter, mostly because it makes my eyes look more blue, but it does have a slight blurring effect to the skin. I will admit it. Sometimes I use that one. I'm not perfect, but I just can't help but think how much more enjoyable social media would be to use if we didn't have filters like these. And I know a lot of people reassure themselves by saying like, well, I'm honest about when I use filters. And while yes, I think it's a good thing that you are being transparent, even if you're the most confident person, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by using filters like these. And here's the thing, I'm not mad at people who use these filters. I'm more so pissed at the social media platforms that allow these type of filters to thrive, because people will use them and then it's no fucking wonder why we place so much importance on how someone looks, if that's what we're comparing ourselves to all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the Indeed Laboratories Hyram Volumizing Lip Treatment. This one's pretty good. It doesn't moisturize my skin necessarily all day, but it's a lip product I like. But I think we all need to take a step back from filters like these and really look at the bigger issue and the problem that they're causing. And maybe I'm getting old, or I was raised in a bubble. And I think it's directly related to not only a lot of mental health issues, but just problems we have in our culture with the mistreatment of people who don't have the resources or money to fit the beauty standard. And I think there's so many incredible improvements that our generation has been able to make compared to previous generations. But in this specific category, it kind of feels like we're going backwards. I'm just like, come on, people. Let's get to a point where when we say everyone is beautiful, our actions are actually matching that statement, because right now it doesn't feel like it. Anyway, I'm finished getting ready. That is my rant. I don't necessarily know what this video accomplishes, but I will say, if you can take one message away from this video, be conscious of what you see on social media. Be careful when it comes to using filters, and remember that by using them, you're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting other people too. And we shouldn't have this ridiculous fear of aging, okay? It's gonna happen to everyone. There's literally nothing we can do about it. Anyway, those are all my thoughts. I hope you guys were able to get ready with me as I filmed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said before, all the products that I talked about are linked in the description box below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and to the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.